I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your daily transfer update and the latest installment of the Victor Osimhen soap opera. Big breaking news in the last few minutes. Al-Ahli management are flying in to Italy to advance talks with Victor Osimhen. It's over, guys. It's done. Finished. The Saudi Dons are flying in to try and get the deal done. These men aren't flying in if shit's not serious. They don't fly in if shit's not serious, people. The Saudi Dons are flying in to try and get this deal done. There's an offer worth £25 million per year over 4 years on the table. That's roughly around £600,000 per week on the table. Yeah, it's over, guys. It's over. We're finished out here. We are finished out here. And I don't know why we're wasting so much time doing this. Why have we wasted so much time seemingly pursuing Victor Osimhen? What has been the point, guys? Seriously, what has been the point in wasting all this time pursuing Osimhen? You know, bro, it's over. It's over. You know, people saying, oh, we're still in negotiations. We're still talking about wages and personal terms. Guys, it's fucking Wednesday afternoon. The window shuts on Friday, and we are still having the same conversations we have been having for months on end about personal terms. He clearly isn't prepared to take a wage cut. So why are we still wasting time discussing and having meetings with Osimhen? We can't match the financial terms on offer. That's fine. We're sticking to our guns. That's fine. But why are we waiting? Why have we been waiting? Why are we talking about this when it's so obvious we're not prepared to drop our demands and someone else is just going to come in and pay him what he wants, and clearly the money is an important aspect to him. And yeah, it's what are we doing? Anyway, we're going to dive into that. Plus, we're probably going to be stuck with Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell as well. No suitors for them. Man United have rejected the chance to take Ben Chilwell, to sign Ben Chilwell from Chelsea, whilst reportedly Fabrice Hawkins, the guy who broke Pedro Neto to Chelsea, he has also reported that Jadon Sancho and Juventus have an agreement in place, a loan with an obligation to buy, which would put pay to any Raheem Sterling, Jadon Sancho swap deal, even though it was it was a long shot. Even though it was a long shot, that's been put to bed. And Chelsea could be in a situation, guys, where we're going to end up with Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell remaining at the club beyond the end of the window. And what do we do then? What happens then? Are they going to be reintegrated back in? We're just going to be paying them hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to train away from the first team. And it's just a nightmare situation to be in. So seemingly at this point in time, this hasn't been a particularly good day for Chelsea. The Saudi Dons are flying in. And we know what that means, people. We know what that means. Fabrizio Romano with the update that Al-Ahli management are flying in to Italy to advance talks. They're travelling to Italy today to advance in talks with Victor Osimhen. Nothing has changed yet as Chelsea remain in talks with Osimhen over personal terms and salary. Osimhen, Al-Ahli, only possible if Chelsea are not able to agree on terms with Victor. Now, this is obvious that we can't agree on terms, because if you're 2 days out from the window and you have seemingly been in these conversations for weeks and months, then how are we looking to come to some sort of an agreement? If Osimhen wants this move, as I've said time and again, guys, if Osimhen wanted this move, he would take a pay cut and he would fit in with what we're looking to do. And the fact that he's not prepared to do that, I get it. He thinks he's worth a certain amount of money. No one else thinks he's worth that money other than Al-Ahli. And no one else thinks he's worth that money. There's obviously a reason for that. He's not worth what he thinks he's worth. And now we're in a situation, guys, where we've seemingly wasted so much time. I'm not saying this is a dead cert, by the way, but like, you don't fly in for talks if shit's not getting serious, if shit's not heating up, and things are simmering, and they're coming to the boil. They're coming to the boil, and Osimhen is going to get the money that he wants and a lot more from Al-Ahli, and we're going to find out whether he's just money motivated or whether he actually wants to test himself at the highest level. Because right now, I'm fed up of this situation, to be perfectly honest. I don't want this guy to come. It shouldn't even imagine as a footballer, right? One of the best strikers in the world, 25 years of age, right? And you've got a choice between going to Chelsea in the Premier League, where African legends have played, idols like Didier Drogba, etc., John Obi Mikel and whatnot have played, and yet it's a genuine decision for you over whether at 25 years of age and as one of the best strikers in the world, you go to Al-Ahli in the Saudi Pro League or you come to Chelsea in the Premier League. How is that even a decision? How is that a decision? I get it that when that amount of money slapped on the table, it's very hard to say no. The Saudi bag will always be there for Osimhen. It's not like he'd make peanuts at Chelsea, by the way. He'd still make a lot of money. Obviously, nowhere near as much as what Saudi are offering him, but it's incredible, isn't it? It really is how that could possibly be a decision. I mean, how is that a decision to be made? I don't understand it, and this whole saga is just pissing me off, isn't it? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's just the same news recycled time and time again, but now there's a big update, and Al-Ahli are flying in for talks, and we know what that means. We know exactly what that means, guys. It means that shit's getting serious, because you don't send in your delegation or your management if you haven't received a strong indication that the deal is a possibility. You fly in to close things out. You don't just fly in for a little chat to sort of see where things are at. You fly in, and your intention when you're flying in and making that trip, your intention is to leave with the deal done. That is what they're flying in for. They're flying in to close the deal, people. They're not just flying in for a little friendly chat and sounding man out. No, they're not doing that. They're flying in to close the deal. They're sending the big dogs in. They're sending the finishers in to get this job done. And look, I don't know what my thoughts are on it, but my thoughts are that we've just seemingly wasted so much time. We've seemingly wasted so much time. We've seemingly wasted a lot of time. Again, Chelsea would have offered Osimhen knows what the deal is with Chelsea. He would have been he'd be on a heavily incentivized contract. And yeah, look, no one can compete with this level of money that's being offered. Anywhere close to that would destroy our wage structure. And look, at the end of the day, maybe we've got to accept that money over football is becoming the norm. As much as it might annoy us as fans, money over football seems to be becoming a normal thing. And I just don't understand why this is potentially just seeming like an Elise Mark II from us, where we've seemingly been set on someone. They're our main target. We're doing everything we can, and yet we somehow still fumble the deal. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, Ivan Toney's on the back burner, and it's clear that Al-Ahli view Toney as a second choice if they can't get the Osimhen deal done. But I don't know how Toney's going to feel about being, a backup option. But yeah, I get the feeling with this saga where I'm just like, I'm tired of it, and I'd rather we just don't bother. I would really rather we just don't bother. I can't be asked for this guy, Close the transfer window. Close the window. I can't be bothered with this Osimhen shit anymore. I can't be bothered with it. These brothers need to rest. He's gone. There's no way, bro. I'm telling you, man. When you've got 500-600 bags a week sat on the table, you're not saying no to that. You are not saying no to that. How can we compete with that? You know, how can we compete with that? We can't. We're relying on the sporting project, and we're relying on, you know, the Premier League, the African history we've got at the football club. Those are the things that we're relying on. You can't compete when those bags are on the table. You know, when those bags are on the table, you just can't compete with it. And that is a situation we find ourselves in. I can't lie. He's you know, I can't lie. I think he's gone. I think he's gone. You know, he's got what, ridiculous wages. Chelsea probably not even offering a third of that. And look, I fully respect the club for sticking to their guns, you know, and not being bent over in the transfer market. But I'll be honest, people, this is one of the most tedious transfer sagas there's been in recent times. This has just been so boring. You know, we've known all summer what the deal is with the Osimhen situation. So why are we expecting him to have, you know, to have a last minute change of heart and then suddenly accept a pay cut? He's not prepared to. Look, we're 2 days out from the window closing, right? And you know, for the whole window, he's not been prepared to take a pay cut. So why would he suddenly take a pay cut, right? In the last day of the window? Why would he suddenly decide on the last day or two of the window to take a pay cut? Why? When he's had all summer to do that, he could have joined Chelsea if he really wanted to. We could have got a deal done. He could have had a bit of a preseason. He could have been integrated. He could have already been there. So, you know, I don't get what his agenda is. I don't get what he's looking for here. Does he want the Chelsea move, but only if he's paid the money? That means he can't want it that much. He obviously doesn't want it that much. You know, if it's only for monetary reasons, then he clearly doesn't really want the move very much at all. Because if he wanted that move, you would take the pay cut like Joao Felix did. Similar situation. Not very many suitors for him at all. He takes the pay cut and he comes to the club because he wants to come. I get it. It's a slightly different scenario. But it's the premise is still the same. You know, if you really want this move and you want to come to the football club, you take that pay cut. And it's not a huge pay cut. It's not a huge pay cut. You know, with incentives, you could probably earn close to what he was earning with Napoli anyway. But these brothers need to relax. They need to relax because this is mad. This is a madness what is going on. You know, this is a madness what's going on. This might be wraps for us. You know, remember when Egbali jetted into Portugal to get the Enzo Fernandez deal sorted out? Maybe what we need to do is, people, send Egbali on the plane and we just have a scrap. You know, Chelsea management versus Al-Ahli management. Winner takes Osimhen, and we just fight it out in the Naples boardroom. Maybe that's what we need to do. Because right now we're in danger of seeing this deal bypass us. We're in danger of seeing the deal bypass us. Let's just scrap. Let's scrap it out. Send the man them. Get the private jet, you know, loaded up, Badad. Get the boys on board. Get Winstanley. Get Stuart. Get the laptop. Get the PowerPoint presentation, and let's scrap in Naples. Al-Ahli versus Chelsea for Victor Osimhen. And let's see what happens, because right now this deal's escaping from us. This deal's escaping from us, people. And you lot might think it's a bit of an overreaction here. It could be, you know, if he ends up signing, I might look pretty stupid after this. But this is, you know, in the moment, you know, live as it can possibly be. Reaction to the situation we find ourselves in. And look, there's a chance that we could still maybe get him, of course, but we're not prepared to alter our stance, right? And neither is he. So what are we going to do at the end of the day? We're just both going to sit there. The deadline's going to pass. Osimhen's not going to come to Chelsea, and Chelsea might miss out on alternative targets because we fucked about trying to sign someone that doesn't really have an interest in joining us. That's certainly what it feels like at this point in time. Look, I hope that I would like him to come. Of course I would, but this update that the Mandem are flying in to sort the deal out is crazy. It's a big development because clearly beforehand there hadn't been any face-to-face talks. No one else had been in. No one really had visited to the situation. And you know what? We need to walk away like Craig David. We just got to walk away. Know when to leave negotiations. Man City are very good at that. You might have an idea, you have a valuation, you have something you're prepared to go to. That's Chelsea's offer to Osimhen must be on the table now, and it's obvious that we are not prepared to alter our to change our demands, and it's clear that Osimhen's not prepared to change his either. So leave that offer on the table, okay, and go and explore other options and get a deal done for Ivan Toney, for example. And if Osimhen changes his mind and suddenly thinks, "Fuck, I actually do want the Chelsea move. I'm going to change my demands," then the deal's there to be done. We shouldn't be engaging in any further conversation with Osimhen. The next contact that Chelsea and Osimhen should be happening is Osimhen's camp coming to Chelsea saying, "We're going to change our demands. We want to join the football club." That should be the next contact between Chelsea and Osimhen, if there's any further contact. But right now, we shouldn't be engaging in further conversations. What can we possibly be talking about? They don't want to lower their demands. We don't want to change our demands. So we just sat there not doing anything. So for me, let's walk away. Let's leave it. Let's see how this one pans out. But as I said, when that money's on the table, it's hard to say no. I'll be real, guys. It's so hard to say no. Imagine and look, footballers gets criticism for taking the money, but football's a job as well. Look, put yourself in a position, right? I will stand up from a little bit here. Put yourself in a position where, imagine you're sat down in negotiations and there's suddenly 500 grand a week on the table. Please tell me how that is not easy to say no to. That is not easy to say no to at all. I don't care who you are, saying no to 500 bags a week is crazy. That's very, very difficult. Look, I'd be happy to have him, but on our terms, and he clearly doesn't want to join on our terms. By the way, guys, over 400 in the building. Keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. Let's run those likes up, guys. We're on 115. We should be on 200 likes. Let's get there as quickly as possible, and keep smashing the subscribe button as well. Have we passed 11.5K yet? Yes, we have. We've passed 11.5K. Let's keep going. Why can't we hit 11.6K this afternoon? So, guys, please keep smashing that subscribe button if you're new around here. 423 in the building. There must be plenty of new people in here. So hit that subscribe button, guys. Help me get to 11.6K. And introduce yourself in the chat if you're new around here as well. Be great to interact with a few more people. Same outcome as Elise, I'm afraid. World-class players ain't accepting pay cuts. Yeah, there's also that argument as well. And I fully get that. You have to back yourself. If you think if you're worth a certain amount of money and you stick to your guns, then fair enough. But ultimately, you might end up having to play in Saudi. I don't know who it's down to. Yeah, brother, I was saying this the other day. I get bad vibes about him and his agent. I think Osimhen's been advised very poorly. I think the Osimhen camp have handled this whole saga really badly. Yeah, brother, if this man wants to go Al-Ahli, you go Al-Ahli, geezer. No problem. From Fabrizio, you conclude you don't want to join. It's a chess game. I don't think it's a chess game. I don't think there's any surprises that suddenly this news has come out that Al-Ahli are flying in. Maybe that's why we made a move for Toney yesterday, because we knew that, Osimhen was open to the Al-Ahli move and they were flying in for talks. Maybe that's why that news came out about Ivan Toney. We just have to leave this here. If he won't take a wage cut, it's just got Lukaku situation written all over it. Take Toney. Yeah, I agree, brother. In football, you're one injury away from ending your career. I mean, people are laughing at Chiesa right now. If Osimhen takes the money, I don't blame him. No, I wouldn't blame him for taking the money from a human point of view, but I would have to question where the ambition is to reach the top level and play at the highest level and test yourself in the best league in the world. I would have to question where that ambition is. Madrid paid Mbappe 150 mil sign-on fee. Yeah, but that's Kylian Mbappe, you know, and even Mbappe, yes, he was earning an absolute fortune at PSG. He still took a pay cut to play for Real Madrid because that was his dream. I'm not saying Osimhen's dream is Chelsea necessarily, but his dream is to play in the Premier League. So if you've got an opportunity and you want it that badly, take the pay cut. It's really quite simple here. The fact that it's even a decision in his mind goes to show that he's not really that keen or he's that set on it. That's my opinion. We will pay 50 mil for Tony. Tony, I don't think would cost 50 mil. Late stage in the window, Brentford risk losing him for nothing next summer. So yeah, I don't think we would. I don't think we would pay 50 mil for Tony. But again, that there's been no talks in regards to Tony today. So again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I think it's clear that Osimhen is Chelsea's preferred target, but ultimately, you know, we are waiting around. Osimhen's got two choices, guys. It's really not difficult here. Play for Chelsea in the Premier League. You know, he's said it many times before in the past, which is his supposed dream. You know, he gets to emulate Didier Drogba potentially. Whilst he would be earning the same or in the region of what he's currently earning at Napoli if, you know, the team's successful and the performance-based incentives are hit. Or you go to Saudi, you take the bag, you make yourself irrelevant, and that's that. And it's not like Chelsea are giving him a fucking Twix and a Mars bar and a bag of crisps or whatever. You know, we're paying him a lot of money for someone that's 25. And surely you think the offer on the table is enough to compete with the Saudi Pro League, considering Osimhen said on numerous occasions his dream is to join the Premier League. And it would also didn't Osimhen's agent as well, or Osimhen's camp, attack Kvaratskhelia camp earlier this year for saying that he would go to Saudi. I'm pretty sure Kvaratskhelia camp came out earlier this summer and said that Osimhen was going to Saudi, and they hit back and denied those allegations. Imagine how funny that would be now if Osimhen ends up going to Saudi after hitting out and denying those allegations. But I think the main thing from this, guys, as I think a lot of us agree here, is that Chelsea should not break their wage structure. And I'll be real. People can have their thoughts. Some people think he's worth breaking the wage structure for. But I'll be honest, guys, and I think you need to trust me on this. It won't be worth it. It won't be worth it. You know, regardless of how emotionally connected or how much people think they really want this move, you know, it won't be worth it. Chelsea would be making a big mistake if they cave in and pay Osimhen his demands. But I can't see Chelsea being that desperate that they're going to cave in, because if they were that desperate, they would have just put that money on the table ages ago, and Osimhen would have been here. That's the reality, and I'm fully of the opinion that we shouldn't be breaking the wage structure for him. I'm fully on board with the fact that the wage structure should not be broken for him. That's my honest thoughts on the situation. Do not break the wage structure for this guy. And look, he's a great player. He's a good footballer. Arguably one of the best strikers in the world. I absolutely agree on that front. But Chelsea have put an offer on the table which they think is fair, which, you know, probably puts him amongst the top earners at the football club. And it's a very competitive offer, I would imagine. Now, if he doesn't want that and he's motivated by money, then that's on him. But Chelsea should not be wasting any more time going in for Victor Osimhen. They should be wasting no more time. And they should just wait for it to... They should just wait and see how it pans out. But in my mind, it's obvious, isn't it? It's a very obvious choice. But ultimately, I just want it all to be over. Get a striker in, move players on. I just want this to be done. I just want this to be done. And look, you know, if there's a release clause put in and he goes and secures the bag for a couple of years and then he tries to come back to Europe in 2 years' time, then good luck to him. The fee, again, I don't know if it would be a loan with an obligation or a permanent deal or whatever with Chelsea, The fee I don't think is much of an issue, but obviously it's the personal terms that are the biggest problem right now. And the fact we're 2 days away from the end of the window and a personal terms agreement is not really anywhere near at all is just goes to show you that Chelsea are a way apart. And look, brother, if Osimhen wanted Chelsea, he'd be here now. If he really wanted to join the football club, he'd be here right now. So if he really wants it, why is he refusing to take a pay cut when he knows Chelsea aren't going to pay him what he wants? Why is that then? Please explain to me, brother, why, if Osimhen wants Chelsea so much, why is he not dropping his demands in order to join a football club? As you say, he wants to join. Napoli doesn't want the money. It's not about money. The issue is not agreeing a fee with Napoli. The issue is personal terms with Osimhen. So what you're saying there, respectfully, is nonsense, brother. At the end of the day, look, I'd like Osimhen. Of course, he's a better footballer than Ivan Toney. There's no denying that. Of course, he's a better footballer than Ivan Toney. But what I would say is, guys, is that Ivan Toney, if we're being honest, is a better value for money deal than Osimhen is. Now, the only thing is there's not really any resale value in regards to Toney, but you could whack him on a 3+1 deal, get some good years out of him, and then you can just reassess the lie of the land in a couple of summers' time and see how different the landscape is with strikers at that point in time. It's not like Toney's some sort of bum. The guy's a baller. I think he's a really top player. Osimhen would get absolutely found out. And I don't think he'd get found out. Here we go to Saudi in the next 2 hours. Look, if the meeting goes well, I would expect there could be a here we go for Chelsea there could be a here we go for Osimhen to Al-Ahli tonight if the meeting goes well, or certainly tomorrow. I think now, with how things stand, with the situation as it is right at this point in time, I would expect a conclusion to the Osimhen saga tomorrow. I would expect by this time tomorrow there will be some sort of conclusion to the saga. But yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy, guys. I just can't wrap my head around why this is even a choice to be made. You know, Al-Ahli offering Victor Osimhen 25 million per year for 4 years, nearly 500k per week. But I think all Chelsea fans are at a similar stage of this one. They just want it over. They just want it over with. You know, whether he ends up joining or whether we end up bringing in someone else, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. It's brothers, guys, it's over. Thank you, God, for giving us hope. But people, it's finished. Look at this now. The Saudi mandem are getting the family involved. It's curtains. Good night. Sayonara. See you, man, later. Al-Ahli are now flying to meet Osimhen, his agent, and his family, and they are now prepared to include a release clause. Yep, it's over, guys. It is over. Finished. Finito. Man's going to secure the bag in Saudi. Release clause is going to be included. We're done out here, people. We're done. We are done. Saga over. Chelsea, move on. Walk away. It's done. That's the end of Osimhen. When the Saudi Dons are flying in to meet the family, it's curtains. It's done. Finished. Finished. You know exactly what the deal is here. You put the charm offensive on with the family. You offer them big bags. Osimhen, obviously from a big African family, you know, will be able to provide generational wealth for his family and his family's family for the rest of their lives, probably. And they're going to put a release clause in now as well. See you later. It's been fun covering the saga, guys. Finished. Bro, he's not going to Saudi. You're going to see. All right, brother. Well, if I'm wrong, I'll come in here tomorrow or Friday, and I'll personally apologize to you, and I'll hold my hands up. I'd love to be wrong, but these signs aren't good, people. These signs aren't good. You know, the Saudi Dons are flying in to meet the family. Brother, the family's getting involved as well. Release clause settings also, which is what he wanted. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Time to walk away. Craig David settings. Time to move on. Meeting the family is crazy as well, by the way. These lot are relentless. These lot are relentless. It's curtains. See you later. Sound, no ambition for this guy. Waste a few years of your career in front of a couple of hundred people and their dogs. There we go. Simple as. And I'm of the opinion that Osimhen is not a. Look, Osimhen's a top striker, no doubt about it. But is he really that much of significant upgrade to the side that he's worth ruining the wage structure for, compared to the likes of a Nicholas Jackson or someone like Tony, who could also come in? Do you throw the whole plan out the window for him? And in my opinion, he's not good enough to warrant chucking the whole plan out the window. He simply isn't. It's not worth chucking the whole plan out the window for this guy. And those are my honest thoughts. It's not worth chucking the whole thing out the window for Osimhen. It really isn't. I don't see how that's a point. Jackson already, £30 million, 23, scored the same amount of goals in a much tougher league. And what kind of message is that going to send to someone like Nicholas Jackson, for example, if we bring Osimhen in on 4 or 5 times his wages? If they're absolutely world-class guys, like Kylian Mbappe, for example, or maybe a Jude Bellingham or whatever, and they're a huge upgrade to what we've got, I don't have an issue with it. If not, keep the structure. But for me, Osimhen is not that guy to ruin the whole structure and change your whole plans for. That's the reality. That is the reality. Yeah, maybe he does. Maybe he does. Maybe that is the case. It's very interesting how Ornstein is kept very, very quiet, very, very quiet on this whole Osimhen saga. I don't think we've heard anything from Ornstein on the Osimhen saga since he reported the possible Lukaku swap deal situation. We haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything from Ornstein since then. Apparently now from Fabrizio, it's on Chelsea now. If Chelsea can agree a salary with Osimhen, he will fly to London. If not, he will say thanks and go to Saudi. Right. So he either wants the move or he doesn't. We shouldn't be changing our demands. If he wants to come and meet the offer that's on the table, come and meet it, brother. Welcome to London. Get on that private jet. Over you come, geezer. If not, thank you very much. Go to Saudi. See you later. I've got a feeling that, and I think some people are right, I've got a feeling that Fabrizio knows the situation. I think he knows we're done. I think he knows we're done out here. And I reckon that he's just maybe delaying the situation. The fact that the fact we're still getting the same news. Chelsea are still trying to agree a salary with Osimhen. Guys, he's not going to change his demands. It's quite simple. He's not changing the demands. Chelsea aren't changing their demands. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we still waiting and still having conversations when neither side is prepared to change their demands? The only thing that should be happening now is Osimhen's camp coming to Chelsea saying we accept your offer and we're going to lower our demands. That's what should be happening. That's the only thing that should be happening, and that should be the next point of contact with Chelsea and Osimhen. So yeah, there we go. There we go. That is my thoughts on that. And it's just the same recycled news of Osimhen. Yeah, this Al-Ahli stuff is new, and they're flying in. They're going to meet the family and whatnot. But I don't want to feel. I think Chelsea need to stick to their guns on this. Stick to their guns. I don't know if Osimhen ends up coming. I don't know if we'll ever get the truth as to what money Osimhen would be on at Chelsea if he ends up coming. Would we have changed our demands? I don't know. Bro, Tony's the backup option for Osimhen at Al-Ahli. So if Al-Ahli don't get Osimhen, then they will then obviously revert back to the Ivan Toney deal. But I don't see them getting. I think they feel pretty confident that they can get this done. I think Al-Ahli feel confident meeting the family and whatnot. The agent, the family, they're prepared to put a release clause in. Brother, these men are meeting all the demands that Osimhen wants, and Chelsea seemingly aren't. So that's where we are. People, keep smashing that like button, by the way, as well. It's free. It takes seconds to do. We're 440 people in the building. Only 181 likes. Guys, this should be on well over 200 likes. So keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. Let's run it up, people. Let's run it up. Please keep smashing the like button. It's free. It really helps me out, guys. The more likes a piece of content is, the more boosted it gets in the YouTube algorithm, and therefore more eyes on the channel. So that small little thing helps me out more than you can imagine. The community's great here. You, man, are always helping me out. So yeah, please just continue by smashing that like button. Get this over 200 likes. And yeah, please keep smashing the subscribe button as well, people. Let's see if we can get to 11,550. We need 30 more subscribers. There's 430 in the building. So please keep smashing the subscribe button. Please help me on my way to 12K. There must be loads of new people in here watching. So yeah, let me know if you're new to the channel and if you've just subscribed. So please keep smashing the likes. Please keep hitting the subscribe button as well. Apparently there's more news. Let's have a quick look at this. What is the latest news on this one? Here we go. Obviously, this is a big game of poker, potentially as well. There's no doubt about that potential big game of poker. Where are we? Let me bring this up on the screen now, people. Bear with me a second. I mean, it's as you were, isn't it, really? As you were. Understand Al-Ahli proposal to Osimhen includes a release clause, crucial point requested by the Nigerian striker. Talks will continue in person with Al-Ahli management in Italy for direct talks, while Chelsea keep negotiating on contract terms with Victor. Why has he put the eyes emoji in there? Is that some sort of, is that meant to, I don't know if that's meant to be like a little, I don't know. What's that meant to be? Is that meant to give us some sort of hope? Is that or what? I don't know what the situation is, but yeah, it's as you were. This is not a new update. This is not a new update. Osimhen loves to move to Chelsea, but Chelsea are not ready for Osimhen. Pay what? Nah, brother. If Osimhen, I've said it time and time again, and I maintain this stance. If Osimhen loves Chelsea so much and wants to move to Chelsea, lower your demands. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. Well, I don't see that being a thing. I think Al-Ahli have got renewed confidence on this one. They wouldn't be flying in to try and close the deal if they weren't confident. They've already changed their demands. They've already accepted to put a release clause in for Osimhen. And there's going to be in-person talks with the Al-Ahli management, with Osimhen's agent, with his family as well. Yeah, this is curtains, people. I honestly think this is curtains for us. Yeah, keep watching. More news. Yeah, I mean, look, these guys are just all saying the same shit. That there's not, the only new thing in the Osimhen saga is that Al-Ahli management are flying in to try and sort something out. That's the only new thing, people. That is the only new thing. Nothing else is new on that front. But I just don't get what Chelsea are. Bro, I still remain to be convinced. I still remain to be convinced. And if we're going to make a move, then we need to get a serious move on. A serious move on. Because otherwise he's just going to end up going to Al-Ahli. So the Al-Ahli offer is on the table. They're meeting tonight to discuss it all, to discuss all the terms. And everything will be on the table for Osimhen, everything that he wants. And then it will be up to Chelsea whether they can offer, more to Osimhen's favour or not. So there we go. Yeah, of course. The math's not mathing. At the end of the day, we know that Osimhen is going to either come to Chelsea and pursue his dream of playing in the Premier League, or he's going to go and secure the bag, which he's entitled to do. But we'd be better off without him. Osimhen's agent's so greedy, doesn't care about his player's career. I feel very sorry for Osimhen and his terrible agent. Yeah, obviously, Osimhen's agent is going to want a fat slice of commission as well from this potential Saudi deal, which no doubt there absolutely will be. There'll be a large chunk of commission. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. I don't know why people are acting like 200, 250 base salary isn't enough money in some football terms. Yeah, I get it. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate all the support from the people. It's cooked. We got burnt. Yeah, it looks like we could be done out here. It certainly seems to be. It certainly seems to be heading that way. Certainly seems to be. Bro, I think he had an offer from it's from Al-Ahli. I think Al Hilal tried last summer or something to get him as well. This offer is worth much more. This is worth £25.5 million per year. We can't be that far off. Well, you would have thought not, but obviously Chelsea aren't prepared to budge, and Osimhen's not prepared to budge, which is why we are where we're at. Yeah, and this is another point that I've made, and people have shot me down over it. He clearly doesn't back himself. I don't think this guy backs himself to be a success. I really don't believe he backs himself, because if he backed himself, he would take the incentivized contract and back himself to help the team and meet those performance criteria. But he obviously doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the release clause would even be. What sort of release clause is fair? It's not going to be 100 milli, by the way. Not going to be 100 milli. Maybe the release clause would be 70, 80 million. Would someone pay that in a couple of years' time? I reckon the release clause would only be active after he's done 2 seasons. They're not going to pay all this money for 1 season. I reckon there'd be sign a 3-year deal or a 3+1 or whatever. Release clause becomes active after 2 years, because Al-Ahli are going to want him for at least 2 seasons. There's no way he's going to play for a season, then fuck off. The Saudis aren't stupid. They're not going to agree to a deal like that where he can just do one after 1 season with the release clause. I would imagine that any release clause would probably become active after a certain point in time. Guys, let's try and get this to 300 likes. Come on, people. Keep smashing the like button. We're 402 in the building. Only 211 likes. Let's ramp this up. Come on, people. Come on, people. Run it up. Let's run these likes up to 300. Should be light work. I'd understand lowering the demands if Al-Ahli weren't in the picture, but I don't blame him for taking 500k a week, especially when Chelsea have shown. No, bro, it's not about. We've put an offer on the table, supposedly, that would obviously make him one of the highest earners at the football club. If he's not prepared to buy into the wage structure, then that's on him. We should absolutely be sticking to our guns on this one, which it looks like we are. I've read that. It's kind of like when we got bent over by Brighton for Caicedo, getting embroiled in a battle with Liverpool that we might have been better off. I don't think it's quite like that. Problem with incentive-based contracts is if they get injured, they can't meet the incentives. Well, no, because there'd be team-based incentives. So even that there'd be team-based incentives. So that wouldn't. I don't think that would necessarily be an issue. Yeah, I think there's quite possibly that as well. His agent wants him to go to Saudi, obviously. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. What else is coming in? Oh, guys, there's so much coming in. What else have we got going on? So many things coming in. No, but what it means is that we're not paying him absolutely fuck all. And to come in as one of the to come in as one of the highest earners, I don't think you can be asking for much more than that. And right now you've got two options on the table. You go and sell out to Saudi and become irrelevant for a couple of years and hope that maybe in a year or two's time you can come back to Europe and make something of yourself. Or you take a pay cut and you back yourself and you come to Chelsea and you live out your dream in the Premier League. I fully back the club on this one. I don't agree with a lot of things that the owners have done, but I do agree with the fact that they're bringing the wages back in line. And if you're not prepared to fit in with it, then don't. Joao Felix was prepared to take a pay cut and fit in because he wanted to come to the football club. If Osimhen's not prepared to do that, then you'd have to question how much he ever was really interested in the move in the first place. If he's not prepared to slightly compromise. So, look, at the end of the day, in my opinion, it should be a no-brainer whether, as one of the best strikers in the world, whether to come to the Premier League or go to Saudi. That shouldn't really be a decision. If you want to test yourself at the highest level, if you've got Chelsea or Al-Ahli on the table at 25 years of age, then this shouldn't be a difficult decision to make. It shouldn't be a difficult decision to make. I just don't get it. The problem is that Osimhen wants Chelsea but doesn't trust his success at the club. I don't know. We have to accept that until we can offer world-class player salaries, we can't buy established. Yeah, look, maybe there is some credence to that. Maybe top-class players won't join because we're not prepared to pay the so-called top-class wages. And I understand that, and I get that, and that's very much a valid point. That's very much a valid point, and something that is a different level of conversation, a different level of conversation. No, as I said earlier on, like when that money's on the table, that's hard to say no. But from a footballing perspective, right? And his agent has come out and said the other day that Osimhen has got unfinished business in Europe, right? I get it. It's generational money. It's very hard to say no to. And every single one of us in this chat would agree that it's very hard to say no to that money if that money was put on you, in front of you, on the table. It's almost impossible to say no. But my thing is, right, if he wants to be one of the best players in the world and whatnot, then he should be coming to the Premier League. And I wouldn't blame him if he wants to go and take the money. Yes, I think it would be a shame that one of the best strikers in the world would not come to the Premier League. But I would understand on a human level that football's a short career. It could all be over tomorrow. You've got to maximize your earnings. I get that. But I just think from a professional standpoint, I would question the ambition over why you wouldn't want to test yourself at the highest level. That would be my only point on it. Osimhen will shine anywhere he goes. I believe in him. It's up to Chelsea to decide. Look, yeah, sure. Yeah, I also get that. But if he's gonna it'll be a lower base salary. Absolutely, it'll be a lower base salary. But if the performance-based incentives make it up to what he's earning at Napoli or in the region of, in my personal opinion, I think that's a respectable offer. If he doesn't think it's a respectable offer, no problem. Let's move on and let's find someone else. That's kind of all I would say on that one. Let's find someone else. Let's find a different offer if that's the case. If he's not prepared to change his demands and Chelsea aren't prepared to move, then let's just draw a line under this. Thank you for your time. Let's go and sign Ivan Toney. So yeah. Anyway, Guys, we spent a long time talking about that. There's a few other bits and pieces that do need to be covered. I suspect there will be some level of update tonight, or late tonight, though I would have thought, or maybe at some, obviously at some point tomorrow could be more likely. Those are the potential scenarios that we are facing at the moment. But yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about other big things that need to happen. The case of Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell. Yeah, problems for Chelsea. Ben Chilwell is likely to remain at Chelsea beyond Friday's transfer deadline. His wages are set to prove a stumbling block for any potential last-minute loan deal. So, and also, by the way, Man United have reportedly turned down the opportunity to sign Ben Chilwell. So Ben Chilwell is not going to be going to not to Aston Villa. Sorry, he's not going to be going to Man United. Man United have turned down the chance to sign Ben Chilwell, and it looks like Chilwell could remain at the club. How we're finding ourselves in this situation is beyond me. It's a problem. It's a big problem, really, because what on earth are we going to do with Chilwell? What are we going to do with Raheem Sterling? You know, we get to a situation where, yeah, okay, we've frozen these guys out. We don't want. They're not part of the plans. We want to move them on. Seemingly, no one else wants them. So, what do we then do? What do we then do about that? You know, how do we reintegrate it? How do we reintegrate them into the squad? Do we reintegrate them into the squad? Do they train away and we just pay them hundreds of thousands of pounds a week and we revisit it in January maybe? I don't know, but I'm not confident at all that we are going to be in a situation where we can find a new home for Ben Chilwell and a new home for Raheem Sterling in the next 48 hours. I'm not confident that we're going to find a new home for either of these brothers in the next 48 hours. And that for Chelsea is a potential big problem. It's a potential big problem that I don't really know what we're going to do about it, because you look at it and I think disasters maybe a strong word. I think disaster is a strong word, but it wouldn't reflect well if we end up with these guys, because then what are we going to do? Then what exactly are we going to do? That's my issue right now. If we end up with all these players left, it's embarrassing. It's not great. I agree. Chilwell will be sold by next summer. Till then, he can recover and get back to fitness, and occasionally, this guy's not going to play. He simply isn't going to play. Guys, we're still 60 likes away from 300 likes. That's got to be the target, people. 300 likes. Let's get it done. There's still 311 in the building. Make sure you run it up. Run it up. Run it up. 310 in the building, guys. We're 241. 60 likes. Please, let's get this to 300 likes. It's free. It takes seconds to do. So yeah, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And keep subscribing to the channel as well if you're new around here. People, we should be able to get to 300 likes in the next 5-10 minutes. So make sure you keep doing that. And guys, keep subscribing to the channel as well. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And we are well on the way to 12K. Well on the way to 12K. 11,525. Let's get a few more subscribers. Let's try and get this as close to 11.6 as we can. So if you please would keep hitting that subscribe button, I would be very, very grateful. This is the place to be, guys, for all the latest transfer news between now and the end of the window. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you are locked in. But yeah, this is not great in regards to Ben Chilwell, and it's not great in regards to Raheem Sterling either. It's not great in regards to Raheem Sterling either. I'm not feeling confident about Osimhen. I feel like that's got Saudi written all over it, as we've just discussed for the best part of an hour. I'm not confident on Raheem Sterling or Ben Chilwell leaving. I think that Trevor Chalobah could well end up staying at the football club, which would be good in my opinion. But it then begs the question: what are Chelsea going to do at that point? I don't know. What would Chelsea do at that point with him? Are we going to be able to sell someone else? Maybe we'll listen to offers for Axel Disasi. Is anyone going to come in for these players in the last day or so? This is the problem that we've got, guys. Is that people may well wait till tomorrow, and they'll wait till tomorrow and be in a situation where they're just going to put low offers in, knowing that Chelsea would have to accept it. Because they want these players gone. So they're going to end up getting slightly mugged off in the market. So yeah, this is not a great scenario to be in. I honestly thought we would have done better with the outgoings at this point in time. I really thought we would have done better. But we seemingly haven't. We seemingly haven't done any better. So yeah, that for me is a concern. A big concern. I'm not feeling too confident on that front. I don't know what's worse. I mean, I'd rather get rid of Sterling than Chilwell because I think it's more important to get rid of Sterling than Chilwell, just because he earns more. But we're still not in a good situation with either of them. And yeah, outgoings has got to be is a major cause for concern. A major cause for concern on outgoings. This is something we're normally very good at, but right now, the Athletic reporting that Chelsea expects up to as many as 7 players to leave the club. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what the situation is. Outgoings have been really piss poor. They've been shit. They've been shit. They really have. We've got rid of Martz and we got rid of Amari Hutchinson. Gallagher's gone. Lukaku's gone. Kepa's going on a straight loan with no option to buy, which is not ideal. We revisit that again in 12 months' time. And yeah, looking very difficult for Sterling, looking very difficult for Chilwell, looking very difficult for Trevor Chalobah. Not to mention the likes of Datro Fofana, Chukwuemeka, Cassidy. What are we doing with all these guys? How much is Chilwell worth? I don't know. Maybe 20 million quid at a push. Maybe 25. I don't think he's worth. I don't think he's worth much more than that. To be honest, I really don't think he's worth much more than that. And that is a concern. That is absolutely a concern. I really don't think he's worth an awful lot more than that. So yeah, we're in a difficult situation. We are in a difficult situation with these outgoings, and at the end of the day, something's got to give. Maybe we just end up giving these players away. I don't know. I don't know. Outgoings have been poorly executed and no Osimhen incoming. Well, let's see, but it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Raheem Sterling playing with Man City elevated his value. City has a lot of good pieces to get. Yeah, of course it did. Price on what? On Chilwell? Look, look, the wages are an issue, but I think the bigger issue here is that there's not really anyone that appears to be interested in Chilwell. And I think the best we're going to be able to do with Chilwell or Sterling is a bit of a last-minute loan deal, and we're going to end up paying some of their wages, and that's just a dog shit scenario to find ourselves in. I really do strongly believe that is a bit of a dog shit scenario to find ourselves in, and ultimately, we're going to have to live by the sword, die by the sword on this. If we want these players out, we are going to, unfortunately, have to accept deals that aren't very favourable. And yeah, it's a big concern. What's going to happen with Amanda Broja? Where's he going to go? That Ipswich one is going to be it looks like it's falling through. So yeah, it's going to be It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very, very interesting one. I don't know what the scenario is going to be. But apparently there's more breaking news in regards to a fucking centre back, guys. According to CNN in Portugal, breaking: Chelsea have offered 40 million euros plus one player to Benfica for Thomas Araujo. I don't know anything about this guy. He's obviously a centre back. How true this is, I don't know. Obviously, it's just local media in Portugal right now. Obviously, CNN in general is a big thing. I don't know how big CNN in Portugal is, but apparently Chelsea have made an offer of 40 million euros plus one player. Who that player is, I've got absolutely no idea. It's not going to be a Chilwell or a Sterling. Maybe it's a Cassidy. Maybe it's Trevor Chalobah. Potentially, could be Trevor Chalobah. A move to Benfica, Champions League. Maybe he would take that. I don't know. Could it maybe be Axel Disasi? That's a possibility. Could they have offered Disasi out? That might be a better situation to find ourselves in. Maybe it's Disasi. Palace once was bidding for him as a Gurhey replacement earlier in the window. I'm pretty sure Bournemouth were looking at him, or maybe it was Palace. I swear someone else was having a little sniff around as well. I've got to be honest, I don't really know anything about him, but clearly Chelsea are potentially looking at other centre-back options late in the window. Now, that means that someone is definitely leaving. Whether it's Chalobah or whether it's Disasi, someone needs to be moved on. Someone needs to be moved on, and I don't know I don't know who it's going to be, but someone needs to be moved on to make space for Araujo if he ends up coming. Of course, we'd rather Ronald Araujo. Maybe this Thomas Araujo can be just as good, but who the player is going to be, if it's a like for like in terms of a defender, then yeah, sure, it's going to be Chalobah or Disasi, or maybe they might offer a Badia Shield. I don't know, but it's going to be likely you think it's Chalobah or Disasi. If it's just the player, maybe a Chukwuemeka, maybe a Cassidy, potentially, depending on what they're looking for. This is one to keep half an eye on, I reckon. One to definitely keep half an eye on. I don't know. Let's wait and see if this gets confirmed by any more reputable outlets. I'm not saying it's not true, but let's wait and see if it gets confirmed by any more sort of what you classify as sort of bigger sources. Let's see. But interesting that Chelsea seemingly could be making a late move in the market for a centre back. Very, very interesting. Do I think it's true or not? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. We are gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, interesting. I mean, let's find out. Let's see if we can find out a little bit about this Thomas Araujo. I imagine he's no older than 23. He's Portuguese footballer, 22 years of age. Obviously fits the profile. Of course he is. 22 years of age. He's got 10 caps for the Portugal under-21 side. He's obviously not capped at senior level yet. And he's a centre-back, and he can also play at right-back. I mean, admittedly, he's under contract until 2028. Palace have been linked with him in the past. And he's obviously a Benfica Academy graduate. He spent the 22-23 season on loan at Gil Vicente. But yeah, not an awful lot to go on. In terms of, let's have a look. In a current season for Benfica, how much has he played? He's played 3 games in the Portuguese league so far. Yeah, 90 minutes in both, 85 in the other. So yeah, he's obviously a starter, a main player. What did he do last season? Let's have a look what he's done last season in terms of this Araujo. Let's have a quick look. They didn't make many. He made 13 appearances in the Portuguese league last season, 20 in all competitions. He's clearly just a young, up-and-coming centre-back. That is the reality. Yeah, it's true. Benfica do absolutely hate us. No doubt about it. Benfica are hating us. Absolutely hating us. Oh, there is news from this on Fabrizio, guys. There is news from this on Fabrizio. Let's have a quick look. Let me just bring it now. People. So this is it here. No, is that going to come up? Yeah. So Chelsea have Thomas Araujo on their shortlist in case one defender leaves in the final days. No bid at this stage, but Araujo is really appreciated as per CNN Portugal. Paris Saint-Germain want Araujo in case Milan Skriniar. Paris Saint-Germain want Araujo in case Milan Skriniar accepts Al Nassr proposal. Yeah, okay. So if Milan Skriniar accepts Al Nassr's proposal, then PSG will go in for Araujo, and I think they're going to have a better chance of getting him than we do. Obviously, we'll only move for Araujo if a centre-back leaves in the next few days. But that's going to require a Chalobah or a Disasi to leave in the next, realistically, to get the deal done. That's going to require the situation where Disasi or Chalobah need to leave in the next 24 hours, so there's enough time to get a deal done for Araujo. That's the reality of the situation right now. That's the reality of the situation right now. So yeah, let's see what happens. We're gonna have, guys. There's a lot at stake here. A lot at stake here. Yes, love, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support, bro. Means a lot. Thank you very much. Guys, keep running the likes up, by the way. We're on 264 likes. Let's get this to 300 likes. We're not far off now. We are not far off. So please keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds, and we're 35 likes away from hitting the big 300 likes. And we deserve this, people. We deserve this. So keep running it up. It's free, and it takes seconds to do. And please keep subscribing to the channel as well, by the way. Have we been discussing the wrong Araujo for weeks? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good this guy is. He's obviously a talent. But yeah, it's going to require one of our centre-backs to leave. And that, again, is a big question. How likely is that to happen? How likely is it to happen that he will leave? I don't know, is the honest answer to that. I've got no idea whatsoever. Now, I still think it's unlikely that one of our centre-backs leaves. Yeah, obviously Araujo is appreciated. There must be others on the list that we don't know anything about. And it's at this point, it's Chalobah or Disasi heading out the exit door. Which one it's going to be, we don't know. Who's it going to be? We don't know at this point in time, guys. That is what we're waiting for. And there's very little time left in the window. My guess would be that Chelsea are not going to sign Thomas Araujo, and I think we're going to just end up being as we were, and no further centre-backs will come in. Our priorities need to be a centre-forward and getting people out. You know, let's not start looking for a new centre-back with 48 hours of the window left. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it, people? It doesn't make a lot of sense to be starting to do that sort of thing. So that is what we need to do. We need to be getting a move on in regards to that. But yeah, obviously Chelsea have got an idea on centre backs. Maybe bring one in, but only bring one in if someone goes. So I don't see someone leaving. I don't see someone leaving. there we are, basically. Maybe a Thomas Araujo is the same agent as Nicholas Jackson. Does he? Fair enough. Didn't know that. Still hoping for Osimhen. New centre-back, not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea, but maybe it's something we perhaps should have thought about a little bit earlier on, rather than a couple of days before the fucking window slams shut. That could have been a good idea. Could have been a good idea, people. You know, that's just going to stick it out there. Maybe we could have done with thinking about a new centre-back a little bit sooner than 2 days before the window closes. And maybe we could have done a little bit more to offload an existing centre-back between now and the end of the window. That also would have been helpful. Also would have been very, very helpful, guys. But clearly that's not the case. Clearly that's where we're at, guys. Yeah. What else? Regardless of the news today, up the Chelsea. Yep, big up, brother. Our defense is pony. We need an experienced head in there, but these directors are too clueless to do that. Just keep Chalobah. Just keep him. Bro, if we end up with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, nah, that can't be happening. If it's not Osimhen, you go and get Ivan Toney done tomorrow. You go and sign Ivan Toney tomorrow. Simple as that. Get Toney done. Sign this brother up tomorrow. That's what we need to do. Ivan Toney, we need to bring him. Simple as that. You go and do it tomorrow. You go and do it tomorrow. Simple as that. Simple as that. You just go and get it done tomorrow. Very easy. Very, very easy. Yeah, he did say keep an eye on Duran as well. I can't see us going in for Duran at this late stage, only because Aston Villa will need time to get a replacement in, and there is no time to get a replacement in. So I cannot see that happening. Guys, 30 likes away. There's still 230 people in the building. Big up to every single one of you that is still here. Love for all the support, as always, people. Make sure you keep smashing that like button. I'm going to keep banging on about it, but it's important. We're now just 30 likes away from 300. We should be getting there, people. That should be a light target. So yeah, guys, let me know when we're at 300 likes. We've got about another 5-10 minutes to go. Let's keep at it. We aren't getting Osimhen, unfortunately, Charlie. Yeah, I think right now, where we stand, I don't think right now, the news that's come out this afternoon, I think Osimhen is looking very unlikely for us. I probably would as well. Worst case scenario is Duran at this point. Can't see. I think Toney's more likely to happen than Duran for sure. I think they're reasonable. I think they're reasonable at this late stage in proceedings. I very much think they're very much think it's reasonable. Of course, a lot can change in the last hours of the window, but as things stand right now, I think there's a reasonable chance that Chalobah could definitely end up staying. Bro, I don't think I wouldn't say it was a massive downgrade. I actually think Osimhen Toney fits better what we're looking to do in my opinion. Now, whether people agree with that or not is a separate issue, but I actually think Toney would suit us better than Osimhen. Look, at the end of the day, in regards to Duran, even if Chelsea were interested and wanted him, Villa at this late stage aren't going to let him go because they're not going to. Who are they going to get in as a replacement? There's no time. Duran looks like a good player. I hear you. Yes, love Seamus. Appreciate the support, brother. I think Osimhen is done. Let's go get Toney. Yeah, I think Osimhen's also done. Yeah, bro, I think they would. I mean, I don't know for certain. This is just a hunch. It's just my opinion. I think they would. I think they would take him. In my opinion, I think they would take 40 mil. I think they'd take 40 mil for him. Chelsea are in talks for Benfica defender Thomas Araujo without making an offer. They have made contact to try and find an agreement. That is according to L'Equipe in France. Yeah, sure. But again, someone probably needs to leave the football club. It's all very well finding an agreement with the player, But unless you've got space to move one of these guys out, then there's no point. Benoit Badiashile has no chances of leaving before the window deadline. People close to him inform me. Badiashile is not leaving Chelsea. If anyone's going to leave, guys, it's going to be Disasi or Trev, or it could be both. Disasi or Trev or both. But Badiashile is not leaving. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating, guys. It's going to be really fascinating to see how this develops over the last few days of the window. We're set for a blockbuster finish, guys. We are set for a blockbuster finish. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. It's tricky. It's a tricky situation that we find ourselves in. It is a tricky situation. There's so much work to do, but so little time to get it done in. To be honest, I think we end up with a striker, and maybe we end up with one outgoing. Maybe we end up with one outgoing, one or two outgoings. And in terms of major sales, I think there could be a few youngsters that leave on a loan deal. But in terms of major sales, I think we end up with one or two outgoings, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's a much more likely scenario right now. I think that's a much more likely scenario that we could find ourselves in. Far more likely. Am I excited for Mike Penders? Bro, I'll be honest. I'd be surprised if he played for the football club. That's just how I sit with it. And I'd be surprised if he plays for the football club. Plus, I would also be surprised. I don't think we're going to see him for at least 2 or 3 years in the setup. The Sassy gone if he doesn't perform tomorrow, then bye-bye. Let's wait and see if he even plays tomorrow. I'd be surprised if there was Ivan Toney news tonight. I think you could get more news on Victor Osimhen tonight. Absolutely. There could be news on Victor Osimhen tonight. But yeah, I think tomorrow and Friday night are the big ones. But ultimately, for this to make any sense, Chelsea would have to sell 2 centre-backs. And I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. He's on the radar, Araujo. And if someone leaves in the next couple of days, then we will be well placed to try and make a move. Guys, 20 likes remaining. 20 likes remaining. Big yourself up, people. It's free. It takes seconds to do. Please do it. Come on, guys. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Yeah, Jadon Sancho, I think, has reportedly got an agreement with Juventus, loan with an obligation to buy. I never thought that swap deal really had much of a chance of happening, to be perfectly honest. It looks like Sancho is on his way to Juventus. Although it's not officially confirmed yet, that seems to be the direction we're going in. And I think Sancho going to Juve is a much better move than him coming to Chelsea. Guys, come on, 20 likes to go. Let's keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do so. Run it up, run it up. We're touching distance now of the 300 likes. Come on, people. Let's do it. Let's get it done. We deserve this. We deserve this. It's been a big stream. Big stream. So yeah, run those likes up, guys. Let's see if we can reach the 300 likes mark. Just imagine if we get a here we go for Tony. Brother, I'd love that. Al-Ahli is offering Osimhen 500k a week. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Why don't we go for someone more senior as a defender? Matt Hummels, I think, has gone to Real Sociedad. So I don't believe that's going to happen. No, Sesko's not moving. He's already said he's staying at Leipzig. Gyökeres, I don't think is going to be moving either. It doesn't appear like he's going to be. I think he's going to be staying put. There's been literally no links to him leaving Sporting Lisbon at all. There's been no links. What's my prediction for the deadline day? I think right now, as things stand, my prediction is that Osimhen goes to Saudi and Chelsea end up signing Ivan Toney. That'll be my prediction right now, but things can very much change. Things can very much change. There's still a chance, guys, that Osimhen could come. But I think right now, with the latest developments we're hearing in this saga, I feel that it looks like Osimhen's going to go to Saudi at this point in time. That would be where I sit with it. That would be my opinion on the matter. Yeah, but again, things can change in football very, very quickly. But right now, that's my opinion. Tammy Abraham's going to AC Milan. If the Sassy leaves, will Maresca accept Chalobah? Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. I don't see why not. I'm not sure if he actually ever didn't want him in the first place. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, to be perfectly honest, brother. I don't really think so. But yeah, if we don't sign any forwards, it's a big risk. It's a bit of a gamble. But I'd rather do that than spend loads of money on someone that's not necessarily right. So yeah, whilst it'd be a disappointment if we didn't get another forward, I would rather us be in that situation than just sign someone for the sake of it. No, bro, he's not coming. He's not coming. But yeah, if Tony comes, Chelsea give him a 17. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, people, I am going to round this one out here. It's been a packed show. Loads and loads of news to go through. Al-Ahli management are flying in to meet with Osimhen and his agents and his family. Could be curtains on that front. We don't know. Let's wait and see how that situation unfolds. Let's see how the situation unfolds on that one. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Maybe there's movement in regards to Araujo. Let's wait and see on that one as well. Maybe Ben Chilwell, maybe Raheem Sterling also leave. But the big one is, what is Victor Osimhen's decision going to be? And I think we're going to get an answer to that very, very soon. But guys, I've got to round this one out now. If there's any major breaking news tonight, I will be back, but it will be an upload only because I'm working again tonight. So I've probably got time to take, 5-10 minutes to do an upload on any major breaking news. If not, people, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, same time. It's game day tomorrow, of course. We play Servette in the Conference League second leg. I'll be back tomorrow with any updates on any further news before the game as well. So, guys, love for tuning in. Thanks for the support as always. Please smash that like button on the way out. We're almost at 300 likes. We're 12 likes away. Smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. And guys, I will catch you lot with an upload later on if there's any major news. If not, see you guys tomorrow. Final 2 days of the window. Let's see what it's got in store for us. Up the Chelsea and peace out.